council meeting. If you'd please rise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance after me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you for attending tonight on this beautiful night. You'd all probably rather be outside, but all right. Roll call. Lauren?
Councilmember Wiley.
Present.
Mayor Rolfe.
Here.
Councilmember West.
Present.
Councilmember Bray Johnson.
Here.
All right, announcements. Does anybody have any announcements?
He didn't call Tradewell. Did he say Tradewell?
Did you say Tradewell?
For the record?
I did not. No.
He's absent.
He's absent. Yep.
All right, any announcements? No? All right, I only have two. One, that black book in the back is everything that we have before us. That could be the agenda and all the information along with it. You can also go to the city website and view it there as well. The second announcement is we just finished our first 2050 comp plan workshop with the Planning Commission. So we do have an open house relating to the 2050 comp plan on March 26th, right, Lauren?
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
5 to 7 here at City Hall. So encourage you to attend. Setting of the regular agenda. Do we have anything to add or delete?
I have two resolutions to add. They're related to items already on the agenda. There's two ordinance amendments tonight, 2601 and 2602. I'm just adding resolutions 2026-48 and 2026-49, which are basically authorizing the publication of an ordinance summary for both of those.
Just want to put that under a consent agenda, or do you want to talk?
Yeah, they can go under consent. Yep.
2602 is already on under 12.
Just approve it right after it then. So one can go on the consent and one can go under administration.
Okay.
And then for claims, I did just update one item to the claims list. It is payment to Key Contractors, Inc. It's pay application number 5. So the updated claims list includes that. We do have to pay them promptly when they present payment to the city and the architect certifies their payment request. So we don't have another meeting until March 30th. We need to get that approved tonight.
With that, I'll make a motion to set the regular agenda.
I'll second it.
All right, so we have a motion by Councilmember West, second by Councilmember Wiley. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Public forum. It's an opportunity if there's anyone here that would like to talk to us about something that is not on the agenda. I'd ask for you to come up now. Anybody? You can just state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, Brian Jude, 22204 Zion Parkway. I have to do the city and all that.
That's fine. You're good.
So I'll make this short and sweet since I'm going to go to Chester's and get coffee after this. But reason I bring this up to the city council, something I think that the city of Oak Grove should work with nearby neighboring cities like East Bethel. Anybody who's driving on 65 can see, they brought in that nice new development over there. More people coming in the area. What I'm getting at, you drive around this town, you're going to see, as I'm sure Sheriff can attest, you see BMWs, you see Land Rovers, you see Mercedes, you see a lot of high-end vehicles. Also, the average, when I did the Zillow, hang on, I apologize, I had it in my note, I was prepared. Where is that? The average home sale in this town is between $445 to $550. What I'm getting at is, even though this is a bedroom town, there's still opportunity for it to grow and revolutionize. What I'm getting at, there's a lot of money with people who have those kinds of vehicles, those kinds of homes, and that's kind of scratching the surface with prices. I think that the city should work with a neighboring city to approach some companies to try to bring in both jobs and also opportunity. The convenience factor. Convenience factor in a marketing 101 will drive anybody to grab something. So, for example, even if there's a Whole Foods down the street, people will drive to that because it's convenient instead of driving up to County Market or driving down to Festival in Andover. So I'm proposing that the city could, when the time applicable, maybe reach out and work with the other cities and say, hey, what is your city like? What does it need? Because East Bethel's just as much at the mercy of having to drive to those areas as we are, because they don't have anything around either. I'm thinking that they would probably have the ability to, since they've got more space that's open than we do at the moment. But getting some type of grocery store that's actually of value around here, because quite honestly, County Market is terrible. No offense to anybody whose family worked there, it's not a great grocery store. Festival, also Cub, they all run 3 of the same distributors. You go to Whole Foods, you go to Kowalski's, you go to Lens, different distributors. Better options, better appeal to more people. If you've got people who are spending that kind of money on high-end luxury, they're going to spend money on high-end food because it's a living necessity. So that's my only request for the city, if they have time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You might want to also attend March 26th.
I don't know what that is.
It's the comp plan.
Oh.
2050 comp plan. So it doesn't get as specific as a particular grocery store, but you might find it to be beneficial for you.
Build it and they will come, right?
Yeah, it helps if a city reaches out versus an independent person. Kowalski's told me, no, they're not going this far north. There's not enough money in this side of town in an email. So, but thank you.
Well, thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Have a good night. Anyone else?
Thank you, Brian.
No, Ron? Nothing tonight? Update from the school board? No? Not to put you on the spot, but
you did.
I did. All
I'm
right.
still in the middle of watching their meeting. It was a long one.
All right. Approval of council minutes dated February 23rd, 2026. Motion by Councilmember Wiley. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember West. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Acknowledge of the Planning Commission minutes from February 19th, 2026. Anybody have any questions or comments? No? All right. Those have been accepted. The sheriff's report. Lieutenant Knotts is not here. We have a guest.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, city staff, and citizens of Oak Grove. I'm Sergeant Weller. I'm here in Lieutenant Knott's stead. He's on vacation this week, so I have some statistics for you. So some highlights from last month, February. On 210 at the 600 block of Sims Road, there was a warrant arrest. A deputy stopped a driver for an equipment violation. After identifying the driver, they were found to have 2 felony Anoka County warrants. The driver was arrested and transported to jail. On 212 at 221st Ave and Holly Street Northwest, a warrant arrest. Deputy stopped a car for crossing the fog line. The driver was identified and found to have a warrant out of Isanti County. The driver was arrested and turned over to an Isanti County deputy. On 221, at the intersection of Viking and Lake George Boulevard, a deputy witnessed a vehicle leaving a nearby property that he was watching and knew that nobody should be at the property. The deputy observed a driving violation, initiated a traffic stop, and the driver did not have a driver's license. It was learned that a passenger in the vehicle had left on foot from the property. The driver voluntarily identified the passenger, who was confirmed to have an active DOC or Department of Corrections warrant. Other deputies were able to locate the passenger and took them into custody and transported them to jail. The vehicle was subsequently towed, and the deputies also followed up with the property owner to ensure there was no damage or theft at the property. On 222, at the intersection of Viking Boulevard and Yellow Pine Street, a deputy was on routine patrol when he ran a registration check of a vehicle that came back with a revoked plate status. The vehicle had already left the area, however, the deputy was able to locate it a short time later and initiated a traffic stop. The driver was found to have an open bottle, suspected narcotics, drug paraphernalia in the vehicle, which he was arrested for. The suspected narcotics were field tested and tested positive for methamphetamine. The suspect was charged with fifth-degree possession of a controlled substance and transported to jail. On 222, in the 700 block of 221st Ave, there was a theft from vehicle. A victim reported that someone broke their vehicle's window and stole their wallet in the morning hours between 6:50 and 8. Just a friendly reminder to everybody, keep your wallets, purses, and valuable property out of view and probably not left in your vehicle. Our hard stats are without much of an explanation. I have, for January, I have 226 calls for service, 1 theft report, 1 assault report, 2 damage to property reports, 2 personal injury accidents, 18 property damage accidents, 29 medicals, 28 animal complaints, 14 alarms, 2 gross misdemeanor arrests, 5 misdemeanor arrests, 3 DWI arrests, 1 domestic assault arrest, 2 warrant arrests, and a total of 148 traffic stops. Out of those 148 traffic stops, 21 were traffic citations or traffic arrests.
Looks like the month of February is pretty close. One less call.
Yeah.
And like 10 more traffic stops, which is good.
Yeah.
0 DUIs.
Anybody have any questions? Or I'm sorry, did you have anything else before?
Oh, that's it. The further information at the sheriff's office is we're kind of entering into our training season, so we are conducting our in-service training coming up here in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then right now we're conducting active threat response, or otherwise known as active shooter response training up in St. Francis at the middle school. So we've got a busy couple months. We like to get our training done in the springtime. So yeah.
I just have one thing. I did share this with Lieutenant Knotts last, or it was Thursday or Friday. There's a lot of concerns again on Zion Parkway with people speeding, and it happens all over the city. But I did ask if we could have some extra patrol there. I'm sure he took care of it, but in case he was busy, getting ready to head out of town, maybe you could just kind of spread the word.
Actually, I do know, I will spread the word as well, but I do know that that was passed along the patrol. I still am on the patrol email list because I was a patrol sergeant recently and I never got removed from that list. So I saw that went out and was voiced to patrol. And then I also talked to Lieutenant Knotts about it, and he said that he had passed that along. So
Right. And I know that could be a difficult area to try to enforce.
it is.
But even just being visible and driving through a few times, I think the neighborhood will greatly appreciate it. So,
yes, I remember that when I worked at the contract, that it was always a busy street with a lot of speeders kind of between there and St. Francis. Yeah.
and I know they think it's a lot of people cutting through, but I don't think anyone, unless they're lost, is taking Zion Parkway to cut through.
Yeah.
So,
It's meandering.
yes. So,
Now they're putting videos up online.
yeah, I know.
Car going down the road too fast.
And if I remember right, wasn't there a fatality there not too many years ago where somebody was hanging out the window, hit a mailbox?
I don't know.
That was
Sound good.
maybe 6 or 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Wow,
Okay,
I don't remember
yes.
that.
Yeah. Anybody have anything for Sergeant Weller?
But thank you for saying that. I was gonna bring the same thing up with Zion.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Yeah, I'll be sure to echo that as well to the patrol.
All right.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You as well.
All right, Lauren, if you can put up the consent agenda. Our city administrator is going to put up a list of items that we're going to vote on all in one motion, unless somebody from city staff, council, or the public pulls an item. I do plan to pull items A and item H. I just have a couple questions.
I'd like to pull C. Yeah, item C, and then also I did add then a letter J, which would be Resolution 2026-048, approving the ordinance summary for item G, Ordinance 2026-01.
Okay. So I pulled item A, item H, and Lauren, our city administrator, is pulling item C. Any others? If not, I would look for someone to make a motion for item B, D, E, F, G, and, or, let me say that again. B, D, E, F, G, I, and J.
Not Jay. Not Jay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I. Thank you. I'll make a motion.
A second.
All right, so motion by Councilmember West. Second
Nope.
by, oh, boy. Kind of
It's
losing.
Monday.
Mike Wiley.
Wiley. Thanks, John.
That's a W. I can
Yes.
see where you get confused.
All right. Motion by Councilmember Wiley, second by Councilmember Bray Johnson. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. For claims and account, I really just have more of a comment. Let me find it here. It has to do with our animal control. I know there's only so much that we can do, but what was it again? It was like $1,600. Sorry, I should have jotted the. I apologize. Here.
1641.30. It's right here.
Six. Oh, it's on this sheet here. Okay. I know we've only budgeted like $2,500 for this, and hopefully we'll recoup this from those that are using the services. But I hate to say it, but people need to start watching their animals, because when we're paying out, and I know part of that's the annual fee, but if even just $1,000 of that is just for animal impounds for the month, if all of a sudden recouping doesn't work the way we think it's going to, on an average, that could be $12,000, and we budgeted $2,500, so we're definitely in the hole. So I guess I know that Councilmember Bray Johnson talks a lot about stray animals, but people need to start watching their animals, because I have to believe the deputies are probably doing their best to try and find an owner, so nobody has to deal with it. So I guess we don't have city license in this city that I'm aware of, Lauren.
No, we don't.
So I guess at least get a tag that says a phone number or something, because in the long run, it's going to cost all of us in the community in order to take care of these animals. So
Yeah, great point. Another great point is, again, and we've said it many times up here, if you love your animal and it's out running free, there's a lot of opportunities for that animal to be killed. And that's by other wild animals, vehicles, people, or just taken, and you will never see it again. So not only is it bad to go to the pound, but you could never see your pet again. So very important. If you love your pet, keep it indoors or keep it on a chain or in the yard.
Sad thing is, people don't, or some people don't really care. I've seen people post on Facebook that they moved up here so they can let their dogs roam. You know, I mean,
Well, you get what you get. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the risk. Yeah.
But we do have an ordinance to keep your dogs under control.
Yes.
Not necessarily on a leash, but they need to be in control of, yeah, so it's unfortunate. That $1,600, how much of it was our contract and how much of it was impound fees?
400 was our contract, and then the additional 1,200 and some was for the 4 calls that were for the month. So we had 1 call in January, 4 in February. We are invoicing the pet owners for the call out and the mileage fee that is being charged to the city. So of that $1,200, we are trying to recoup that from the pet owners.
Yeah, our budget's 2,500, and we're not even through the first quarter. We're at 16, so
And how long is that invoice due? How long do they have to pay that invoice?
I don't know. Just sent the first one out last week. It's a new process.
Do we have a timeline for that?
There would be a timeline on it. I just don't know what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Typically within 30 days. I don't think it would be any more than that. It might be less, but I don't have it in front of me.
So I'm not against paying the $1,600 because we owe it, but
Right.
I just think people need to watch their dogs a lot closer.
They certainly do.
So I will make a motion to approve claims and account. I look for a second.
second.
Second by Councilmember West. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 4-0. Item I had received some information from an individual, honestly, like literally on my way here.
Was it I or H?
I or H?
You pulled H.
You pulled H, yeah.
H, thank you.
You're welcome.
They're both kind of related.
Yeah.
They're dependent on each other. Can't have one without the other.
Didn't take your medication today.
No, I was doing so good and it's kind of falling apart here, but, all right, you're right. They are kind of related, but I am referring to I, since that's the one that I pulled.
H.
H. It's good that this is a short meeting. So an individual had talked about that they had read that there weren't any complaints on file for this particular property. I don't know if I'd say there aren't any on file, but I had been contacted by a person in the area who had a lot of concerns about the property and the fire and the fuel and all the different things that are happening there. Some of the information that the party had emailed me, I think he was maybe a little confused about some of it, just because an applicant comes up here and says, this is what I'm gonna do, and I only want you checking my property once a year and all that, doesn't mean anything. It's whatever the ordinance indicates going to happen, so, I have an interim use permit, I could just say, well, the city can come one time and they never can come again. Well, it doesn't mean that, that's how it's gonna be, so. I think the neighbors, or one of the neighbors, just a little concerned about the fire, and so I just wanted to explain that it's not, I don't know if I'd call it an official complaint exactly, indicating that it's not that the information within the packet is wrong, but it is a concerned person, and so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, so. I don't know if it changes anybody's mind, but again, I just wanted to bring it up, so. More or less, they're concerned about what was in the garage the previous time with semis and fuel and oil and all the different things, so.
I could speak a little bit to that too, because I was one that made that comment. I think Chair Johnson asked me at the meeting if we had received any comments, because we did notice a public hearing. It was sent to all the neighbors within 1,000 feet, and we did not receive any comments at that particular time. I forgot all about these people, but yes, they had sent some comments in back last August when there was a related application for it, and I forgot about it. I did reply to them tonight too. I think some of their concerns are addressed with the current application and the current iteration of it. They did carve out a little lot now for commercial, so now that building has to be built to commercial standards, commercial building codes, commercial fire codes. And regarding the inspections, I mean, the applicant may have, stated that in a meeting, and that's just fine. He stated that, but ultimately, this is a commercial business, and the city does go through and inspect every business in the city annually by the fire department. So this business will be inspected every year now for fire code. So that is a big thing, and that does help with some of their concerns related to the fire.
Lauren, just so we clarify things here, you said you forgot about it. Typically, when a complaint comes in, a complaint gets registered into a file, I would assume, and then when we're looking at these going forward, you're pulling that file to see if there's any complaints in there. We're not just relying on your memory, correct?
Yeah, so they're two completely different things. This actually, they didn't file a complaint. They had submitted comments for a public hearing back last August.
Okay. I just want to be clear because
Yeah.
I want people to understand that you're just not trying to remember everything, that there is a
I'm not.
process. Okay.
My memory is not as good as it once was.
Right.
I fully admit that.
I hear you,
I wish
brother.
I wish it was better, but no, it was specific to had we received any comments for this application. It was a true statement. We did not receive any at this time, and they would have received a new notice. I mean, I think she kind of said that. They were not available to come to the meeting, but they didn't send new comments, and that's not their fault. She did reach out now before the council meeting, so those were shared.
Thank you for your
But
clarification.
I do understand their concerns.
All right.
I think a lot of them are addressed with the new application.
And I would agree with Lauren. It was originally sent to me and the planning, and I don't know if I'd say it was exactly a complaint, even though that might be the words they're using. I looked at it as more of a concern that this happened and they don't want to see it happen again, so. But I also do think by changing the zoning does change some things with it too. With that, since I pulled it, I will make a motion to approve items H. I would look for a second.
Second.
All right, second by Councilmember Bray Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right. And I guess, Lauren, where I'm a little confused here, which is I think what got me off course here in the first place, is I thought we were putting the 26-048 as item J on, but I think when you had said don't include J, so I don't think we've actually voted on J.
No, J was 2601. That's what Lauren said he added.
J is the authorization to publish just a ordinance summary of that ordinance. So it's
Right.
Resolution 2026-048. It should go on consent because that ordinance is under consent. Councilmember West did point out that ordinance 02 is actually under administrator. So the ordinance summary related to that should go under administrator update. So it comes after that gets approved.
So I think where I was
If it gets approved tonight.
getting a little confused, we'll just say part of it, is I think item J, if we're keeping it under consent, I don't think we actually voted on it.
Okay, then just, let's add it.
Okay.
as an addendum, letter J, which is Resolution 2026-048. It is authorizing an ordinance summary be published for ordinance 2026-01, which was letter G on the consent agenda, amending the official zoning map from single-family residential to general business for a portion of RCA properties.
Okay. Did you say G? Because I was saying J.
J. I was referencing G because J is
Yeah.
directly related to.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
All
authorizing the
Yeah.
ordinance summary of that ordinance.
right. Okay. All right. So I would look for a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wiley, second by Councilmember West. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right.
We have C left for Lauren.
Yeah.
I pulled item C.
Yes. Go
Uh,
ahead.
This did go to the planning commission, and staff was doing some additional review work between now and today, and we did discover that there is some wetlands that were not noted on their survey that they had submitted. So we are working with the applicant on that, but they need to resolve that before the council should approve it. So I would recommend tabling that item tonight until they can resolve that issue.
Well, I'll make a motion to table C
I'll second it.
on the agenda.
All right. Motion by Councilmember West, second by Councilmember Wiley. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. That item has been tabled. All right. John, have I missed anything from the consent agenda? All right. Consulting engineer, Chuck.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. A couple items for you this evening. First on the agenda is the 2026 street improvements, consideration of the bid award. On March 4th, we did receive 7 bids for the project, and of those 7 bids, Knife River Corporation was the low bidder at $511,657.70. What was included in the low bid were essentially the south end of Zion Parkway, finishing up last year's project, as well as 223rd adjacent to that. Also, there's the neighborhood south of Lake George, the homes back there, as well as Nightingale Knoll, which is east of Nightingale, again, across from Lake George. There is another neighborhood back there called Pines Third Edition that was not included in the base bid. And at this time, we're recommending that you include the award based on the base bid and Proposal C. Proposal C is the trail within the Nightingale Knoll neighborhood. We think there might be enough money to also include Pines Third Edition next to Nightingale Knoll, but we want to make sure, things are coming in and as expected, and, these are bid items, and so we want to make sure we underrun the bituminous and some of the bigger items to make sure we have enough budget to get under that $722,000 or $721,000, but that you budgeted for 2026.
Well, all these on this resolution are $579,000, correct?
Correct. And then the trail is an additional $56,018. That's Proposal C. So that we're recommending that you
Still
award it
well
based
below.
on the base bid plus Proposal C, which is the trail.
The trail will come out of the trail.
Yes.
Separate funds, yes.
Yeah.
If you remember right, we didn't do a project last year, so there's a little bit of a fund balance in there to do this larger trail project this year.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll go back down to about 0 after this project.
They're gonna do the trail at the same time?
Yeah, I mean,
That in the past, we looked at that a few times at different areas, and there was an issue with doing it at the same time because of bituminous, or they would come back with different equipment or something like that.
they will use different equipment. It's part of the same
They're
project.
just gonna do it though at the same time though.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. It's all under this contract.
All right. Well, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember West. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Ray Johnson. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
Couple other items for you folks. Aspen Glen, their third phase of that project they want to move forward with in the summer. And as you recall, Aspen Glen is directly east of the Ponds neighborhood. And the third phase will finish it all off, including the road that'll connect 226 in the Ponds all the way over to Raven, okay? And as part of that project, there's a temporary cul-de-sac that will need to be removed, and then that it'll become a through road there, okay? When they originally submitted the development, they ended up losing one lot directly east of the Ponds development because the soils weren't conducive to a septic system in that area. And so what they were wondering is, would the city entertain considering adding one additional urban lot adjacent to that temporary cul-de-sac, those homes? And so, and then allow it to be connected, one more sewer connection and one more water connection to your municipal system there.
I'd have to see a map
Yeah,
to begin
Lawrence
with.
pulled it up.
To make it look like, is that part of that neighborhood, or we
This
just?
is where Aspen Glen meets the ponds. This is their third and final phase. So this is where that cul-de-sac is going to be removed, and it'll become a through road from Aspen Glen into the ponds. And what they're proposing is right up adjacent to this last lot in the ponds, an urban lot, urban size lot, city sewer and water.
And we would have to confirm that there is capacity in that low-pressure sewer. And I don't have any reason to doubt it can't handle one more home. But we would verify that.
Because that's at the end of the line.
Yeah, that's at the end of the line. And
I think they had 40 lots on 160 acres. They were well under the density requirements. This it would extend the sewer to one lot, but it's not looking at expanding the sewer system there.
And, it'd have to be there'd have to be another public hearing and, those sorts of things for this revision.
Is this opening us up, Lauren, to any other neighborhoods in the city that we're not thinking about as they expand that, oh, well, you did it for the ponds, so now, or I guess it wouldn't be for the ponds, but for
Right.
Aspen Glen.
I don't think so. I think there's really only 2 opportunities to even expand that system. And Aspen Glen developed, like I said, 40 lots at 2.5+ acres. We're not gonna extend sewer there now, unless we extend it to this one lot. That'd be the end of the line. There's potential for that 40 acres at the entrance of the ponds on the south end there at Zion Parkway and 221st. They had a plan a couple years ago that showed, I think, 10 lots out front, kind of to match the townhomes across there. I think that is a potential, but outside of that, there are no other potential for expansion of the sewer system up here.
I guess what I meant was, would there be any other, I get what they're trying to do here, and I don't know if I support it or not. I guess I'd have to think about it a little bit, but is this going to create a problem for all of us that, oh, well, you let Aspen Glen do one smaller lot?
Setting a precedent.
And yes, we could maybe explain it that it's different, but I know with the one just right off 47 that we were dealing with a few months ago, they were trying to, reduce some lot sizes, make longer cul-de-sac, and we were I think we were 5-0 on that, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that it's a no-go. So for me, I can consider it. I just want to make sure we're not setting the city up that, well, you let Aspen Glen do it, but now I can't, unless we really have it spelled out that, well, it's because it connects to water and blah, blah, blah. But I still don't know if I support it. I'd have to think about it.
So other than what Weston is mentioning, what's the downside other than that of doing it?
Well, that case, they were applying for variance just to get a smaller lot. This, I don't believe, would need to apply for variance. They have the land area to make a conforming lot that would require city sewer and water, so there wouldn't be a variance involved?
They might not have the 300 foot of frontage,
Okay, that could be an issue.
so there is a,
Is it possible to amend the PUD of the ponds to include this lot as part of that planned unit development that has unique. I mean, they're the smaller lots and the ponds. We're working through an amendment right now with the sands. I mean, I know that's a different side of the development, but that would allow this to happen within the PUD, so it has specific regulations. It doesn't set any precedent then because it's in its own, coded area rather than a variance. I mean, it still would require public hearing and all of that and a replat of the second of Aspen Glen. But that could be a possibility too, which would address the road frontage dilemma. They wouldn't need that. We could see what it's coded in the existing PUD.
Yeah, I think that's one option. Another option too, I guess I envisioned if they're gonna do this, that they would rezone that specific parcel.
Sure.
And the requirements for that district are not 300 feet of road frontage. It's a lot in the ponds does not have a 300 foot road
Yep.
frontage.
Yep.
300 feet of road frontage requirement. They're smaller, because they have sewer and water.
Sure, so that could work too.
And the other thing we
I think
should
there's a
know,
couple options to get there without.
Without a
having to grant
variance.
Okay.
and the other option we should know too, that St. Francis would have to sign off on this as well, because it's outside of the ponds as far as, even though you're connecting into your system, it's outside the agreement with them.
So does the sewer run right in front of this property now? Or
No, but
would
it's
that have to be
below,
extended?
it's below the temporary cul-de-sac that they have to remove. So that's how they,
So they wouldn't have to extend the sewer system, they would just connect base into it.
well, they'd have to extend, 100 feet
We
or,
wouldn't be paying for anything.
no, it would be all on their dime.
Right. I think it's just a two-part thing. I think the water and all that is one thing, but it's when the next developer comes in and wants to do a, 1.75 acres, and we allow a quarter acre lot here. I think that's just where I'm having a harder time, but I'm willing to think about it.
I think there's very few parcels in the city that are up next to city sewer and water.
Right. Well,
This
I
one-
think if you explained all the reasons
Right.
why this one outside of the other ones, it's like, okay, well, can you hook to city water? Well, I can't do that. Well, I guess you're out, so.
Right.
Chair Johnson. Good for you.
Yeah, Mayor, Council, when we have scenarios like this, we always look at what's the practical difficulty or unique nature of the property. This would be consistent with our evaluation of the proposed development a few years ago at the other end of Zion Parkway, in that it did not require an extension of the bulk part of the sewer or water system is already within the right-of-way. In this case, they'd be extending a single service out to that cul-de-sac, not adding capacity for multiple homes, so that's unique. It adjoins an existing PUD of that design nature, and in this case, it's hemmed in by the development that's going there. So, one of the things that we discussed, and I think everybody was pretty, thank you for zooming in there. It's adjoining. It does not principally extend the service area, and we're not. This is unique in that way that it adjoins that existing PUD. Further. There are not any other areas of the community that the rationale of extending an existing sewer water system could be used to say, well, you let them do it, why can't I do it? I'm not aware of any other system other than, say, the small package system that serves the assisted living center at Lake George that is similar to this. I'm looking to our engineer to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Lake George has already been planned for it can't really be expanded without
No.
major work on the system.
So if we were to take the application before the planning commission, a finding of fact would include that this is unique for those reasons, and I think would address the concern about opening a Pandora's box. But it would be a part of our assessment to make sure we're not doing that. Thanks.
Right. And maybe I'm not explaining myself right. It's not so much the city sewer and water, it's we're allowing this developer to get one more lot by allowing him to reduce when we haven't allowed that in other places. But if we were to, in this scenario, this is the one time maybe it would make sense, maybe.
That'd be our view of it.
I would definitely want to know whether St. Francis would allow us to tie in before we even went through any of the hoops, right? I'd want to know that up front, because it might be a moot point.
Yeah, and they wanted to bring it to everybody's attention, because if it's, if they're gonna make this investment and go through the hoops, the sooner they got a no, then the better, they can move on then, so.
So is that lot, pretty low? I mean, I guess if they don't have room for,
It's just high groundwater, I guess, it'll slab on grade type of house.
so Does it look like potential for flooding that lot or anything like that?
No.
Because you only need 12 inches above modeled soil for a septic.
24.
I thought it was 12. 24 now? Okay, 24.
Was 4 feet at one time.
Well, yeah, I know, it was on back then. I thought we reduced it to 12.
Yeah. No, it's 2 feet.
It used to be one. That was changed quite a while ago now.
Okay.
So what do you need from us, Chuck? Just,
Just
I know what John's
Would you
saying, and I
consider
agree with that.
consensus? I can let them, I can provide that feedback that you would consider it, you know, not committing to anything. You obviously have to go through the formal process, and they've got to get St. Francis. We've got to make sure that there's enough sewer capacity in that a small diameter line as well. So that's all I need at this point.
Right. Well, I know we're not voting, but I'll give you my opinion right now. I probably would not support it. I would be interested, like what John had said, to learn about, is St. Francis interested? Can the Lions do it? All of it, because that might just be a moot point that it's not even going to work anyways.
Right.
But I still feel like I'm falling back, that I just told that developer on 47 that he couldn't have a smaller lot.
Yep.
And now, well, I'll let this guy, just because he can hook to city sewer and water and so on and so forth. But I'd be open to the information, but I also think, for me, city staff wasting a lot of time for, again, myself thinking I probably wouldn't support that. So, others might have a different opinion, or,
agree.
I want to see what the information's out there. I mean, anytime we can put another lot on the tax rolls, it helps everybody in the city. So it just has to be done the right way. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it does. Oh, I agree with you more, Weston, because we've told developers before, you know, we're not going to give you an additional lot, you know, and that, well, it goes back on the consistency of what we've done in the past. Although,
but I'm open
always
to,
good to change.
if it doesn't take a lot of staff time to at least get the information. But I think that's the way I'm leaning. Anything to add, Mike?
I got a few questions yet.
Go ahead.
Our deal with St. Francis right now allows us 10 more lots, right? For the ones that cross from the townhomes, weren't we looking at those for getting on the system? Wasn't that kind of,
It's not limited, I don't think, to the number of connections. It just says that we can serve this property.
Yeah.
I thought you were limited to like 40 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like
We'll be well
42.
under that.
We'll be well under that because the parcel we're selling, I think, is 27 lots. And I think they were up to 40 just for that parcel
Yeah.
originally.
so that one shouldn't be affected then?
I don't think it'll be an
Should
issue
be
with
way
St.
under.
Francis.
I just want to make sure if we went forward with that, they wouldn't say, oh, all of a sudden you reach your number, we're going to short this one down.
And when that 40 on the south end there was being considered, there was only enough room in that line for 11 connections. So that's the limiting factor down there.
Well, and they haven't done anything with it either, so I guess if somebody beat them to the connections, that's kind of what happens when you wait around.
You know, and St. Francis could, you know, charge them a king's ransom or something too that would make it economically not feasible or worth their while, so.
I guess this just came to us tonight. I'd want to think about it before I made a firm decision, because some things you brought up tonight that
It's just an update, so we're not voting on
so
anything.
I'd want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, the developer's gonna have to make a decision whether they wanna pursue it or not. It's gonna cost them some money to do so.
Let's see what St. Francis wants. What
Of course,
they would.
they can go to St. Francis and ask them whether they would let it on before our staff had to go up there and waste their time doing it too.
Yeah, they
It's not a
have
hard
to,
question to ask. I think at least our relationship with St. Francis now is different.
Well,
than
I
it was
realize that
5 years
we can
ago.
help them out, but we are using city staff time to go and do all that stuff. You know,
so,
I've built houses before too, and I went to several different cities all about certain development.
But ultimately, that agreement would be with the city.
yeah. Any rework that they do or me analyzing the sewer or anything, you know, they're agreeable. That's a pass-through cost to them.
So I think the consensus is here, Chuck and Lauren, is
Maybe.
get some basic information that we can
Yeah.
consider, but I think maybe we know which direction we're going, but it's fair to at least get the info.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'll let them know.
You said you had 4 things, Mike, or did you get all
No,
of them?
no, that's it.
All right. My only question with this, Chuck, is the sign for the connection. When is that actually going to happen? Because I guess I personally would rather delay it as long as we can to not have construction trucks driving through there. Now, I know one could say, well, they'll just come up Raven, which is what I would hope, but I could see some maybe come up 221st and cut through if they're building the house, for example, the one we're talking about now, or is there a way to limit their traffic going through the current Ponds neighborhood?
Yes, we would, we would put those conditions. That's a good point. We'll, require them to come off of Raven and not go through the residential neighborhoods with their, trucks and everything else. Now, when you get to home building and those sorts of things, you get so many different people involved, and you can only control it so much because it is a public road.
Right, unless you delay it, opening it. All I'm really getting at is we just redid these roads. This particular neighborhood is already upset with traffic all the time, so if we can at least the big trucks and all the stuff, make them go off Raven, hopefully it would help all of us and the neighborhood.
And the road.
Maybe
And the road, yes.
maybe there's some. Okay, we'll make note of that.
We can address it when they come to the planning commission,
Yeah.
with their third phase.
I was just thinking, well, could you put up barriers for a year or something like that? But then you'll have people hollering at you that they can't get out.
Right. If they had to do a lot of the winding around even to get to it, then maybe they wouldn't, but this one's kind of a straight shot.
Yeah.
If you're working on the west part
Yeah.
of Aspen Glen, so.
Yeah. So we can work with the developer, and the developer can work with his builders, and do what we can to limit that. That's a very good point.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got one more head scratcher for you
yeah.
this evening. So, as you may recall, they started today on the Seeley Brook Bridge at Rum River, and it's a county project, but it's in your municipality, obviously. The reason I bring that up is their inspector from the county gave me a call today, and the contractor wanted to know if they could work Saturday, 7 to 7, driving pile.
Driving what?
Piles.
Oh,
Piles. So, it's a very noisy activity. It's, motorcycles, like I looked it up, motorcycles like 110 decibels, and sheet pile driving is, 120. So it's a noisy activity. I looked at the temperature on Saturday. It's, high of 37. Pick your poison, right? Do you want to get that road, or you want the project completed sooner? Or do you want to have an enjoyable Saturday? And how many people will be outside Saturday and with the noise? But I believe your ordinance does say that, it's written approval from the city is required to work on Saturdays.
I don't have a problem with Saturday, but I do have a problem maybe with 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, this short notice.
Right, and what would it take off as far as time?
A day,
Estimate.
it's a day or two or something. I don't know. They have their equipment out there. I'm sure once it's mobilized, they want to get it done and moved on. They're renting equipment.
So you think they're gonna get the piles driven on one Saturday?
I don't know if I don't know if they're driving piles later this week and it's going to spill into Saturday. I didn't get that specific. I was on the road when she called me.
I look at it as we have so much open space out here that sound is going to travel further into all of those neighborhoods. It's going to go all the way down to all those neighborhoods around there. We can hear the train at our house,
Yeah, I can hear it at my house.
Yeah. So, to have that on a Saturday, 7 to 7, I don't know.
Or we could limit it to other hours, or just not at all.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with it, but 7 in the morning seems.
I'd even
pretty
be
early
good with
for
8
Saturday.
o'clock or something.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
9.
something.
If they do 9 to 7, I guess they're still getting 10 hours.
I would say, probably based on the complaints that we get that's gonna be a factor. If, a dozen people just start screaming at Lauren, or actually the mayor,
Could you put your number out there again?
so that may be a factor, but
Well, it's the one Saturday, and if the phone rings off the hook, that
yeah. The problem is, it's the time of year. Everybody has been chomping at the bit to get outside, right? And if you got a nice weekend and you're outside in your backyard right there and it's bang, bang, That'd be a tough
that's why it's a high of 37. And
I mean, it could be snowing.
I guess I'm good for 9 to 7. I don't know, Mike,
That would be good for me,
John?
at least the 9 in the morning.
I'm fine with it, but I would expect calls. So,
Yeah. Call me,
yeah.
listed.
I mean, we're talking one Saturday. It's not gonna go on.
Well, if it's one Saturday, that was my question. Are they gonna get it done in one?
Yeah, this was just this coming Saturday, not every Saturday.
no, just coming Saturday to direct
Okay.
calls.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, 9 o'clock, not 7.
So I'll call Chuck.
Alrighty.
I have some questions for Chuck too.
Anything else, Chuck, before we,
Nope.
Angie?
Chuck, at our last meeting, we talked about 221st and 9. Were you able to get in contact with the county about that at all? About potential flashing sign or anything?
They were gonna have somebody go up there, but I haven't had a response yet from them.
Okay, all right.
I'll
I
follow
ta-
up.
You what?
I'll follow up.
Okay, I did talk to our Commissioner Bressett as well, and she was gonna follow up and get back to me as well. So I just wanted to know that. And then, with this construction over on 7, whenever there was construction over on 221st, I believe, or no, it was on 9. We put a sign on Zion about not going through there as a detour.
When they're doing that culvert just north of 221st.
Yeah. Some neighbors on 217 are concerned about people using their road as a cut across to get over to 47.
Yeah, right down there.
And people speeding through their neighborhood because it's happened before when there's been construction over there. Is there anything we can do for signage for them, or do we just leave it?
Yeah, I didn't drive up there today, so I don't know what they have offhand for signage. I mean, if we do get calls of concern or it becomes an issue, we can ask the county to install some additional signage.
Okay.
Whether that'll help or, remains to be seen, but, I understand the concern there and for those residents as well.
Yeah, because it's been used before, and whenever I shared with the community about this project, that was the number one concern, was people using their neighborhood.
Lauren, could you send Lieutenant Knotts a message? Maybe they could do some additional enforcement, or at least be present to
Yeah.
slow things down a little bit.
Well, isn't the county publishing a official detour?
Yes.
Yep, and they have dynamic signs down on,
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
biking and.
people don't use those.
I get it. I just want to make sure that we are supplying that.
Yes.
And I haven't checked my navigation software to see how if they're rerouting things through the neighborhood. Sometimes you can reach out to Waze and those people directly to get them to modify and not use their local streets as well.
Anything else, Angie?
No, that's all I had. Thank you.
John?
Nope, good.
Mike? Nope. Well, thanks, Chuck.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
See you at the next one.
You want me to see the wrong line?
All right, city administrator updates and discussion items. Code enforcement. Lauren? Do you have anything to add outside of what we have before us?
I did provide the council an update on 22730 a week or 10 days ago. That property owner did have a hearing before the judge again last Wednesday, and he did not show, so there was a bench warrant issued and bail. Sounds like he did write a letter to the judge for some additional time, so I think they are scheduling another hearing on that. The city also filed an administrative warrant on Friday to proceed with the abatement process on that property. So we will probably see something at an upcoming meeting related to the abatement process for that one. But as moving forward, there are a couple other ones that are kind of not really left over, but ones that have gone through either the criminal or civil process that will start to get the administrative citations as well. And then those add up quickly if you don't remedy those. So hopefully people will contact us or finally start to bring it into compliance. Otherwise, it starts adding up quickly in 30 days. Those that reach the maximum, we did set a maximum of that for $3,000. If they don't comply, those will be certified to their property taxes at the end of the year.
I see, and I know there were a few residents that were concerned about the administrative citations. Looks like there's two actual citations that have been issued. And I don't know if there were any in 2025 or were there?
There might have been one that got issued towards the end of 2025. But, I mean, still, I mean, we're in single digits that have actually been issued. A lot of them have gotten the letter and they've come up with a plan and they've resolved it, thankfully. I mean, that's the goal here.
No, I'm not saying city staff's doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to throw it out there that those that were concerned, this hasn't changed much except maybe help move the process along a little faster, so.
It's moving along, and for some of those that have been a problem for a long time, you know, they're either bringing it into compliance or now they're getting a pretty hefty fine for it.
All right, anything else with code enforcement up here? No? All right. We'll move on from that then, Lauren. Item B, which I think, no.
Yep, so this is an ordinance, this is a housekeeping item for the city code. As you know, we did change our meeting time to 6 PM, I think a year and a half ago or so. There is still a reference to it in the code as 7 PM, so it's just good practice to clean that up. So we are proposing to change that to 6 PM. Councilmember Wiley, I did talk to him today, and he did point out that there is language in this section of the code that also says if one falls on a holiday, it shall be held the following day at 7 PM. I think you could leave that in there if you wanted to. Nothing prohibits the council from canceling a meeting at any time and or calling a special meeting at any time. If you're inclined to change it, what I would say is change it to what we're doing in practice, which is instead of having that language in there, we'll just say the council will review the meeting schedule on an annual basis. You know, that's what we're doing the first meeting of the year when we're setting that schedule.
That's exactly what we should do.
That's what we're doing. So if you want to change it to that, I mean, I can revise it to reflect that.
We should have it reflect as to what we're doing in
I just
practice.
felt if we said that we were gonna have meetings the following day, we're gonna constantly be,
Yeah.
most holidays are on Mondays, we're gonna be constantly having.
I agree.
to address it.
No, then shall says something else too, so I think it's
Yeah.
better to do it the way we're doing it. And always have extra meetings if we need them.
Right, which we do all the time.
Yep, yep. And I think, especially with that particular clause, I mean, even before I was here in the city, I think the Memorial Day one has been canceled for a long time. So the city wasn't really doing that even before I started.
But we all know too that if something comes up that we have to have one, then
Yes.
we will, so.
Well, yeah, we've done that for different things. Swing on in here, and it's nice that we all live close by.
Right.
You're gonna
So
make
how
a
do you want to
motion?
phrase that there, Lauren?
I would just add, we would take out that language about meetings falling on a holiday and change it to as reflected. The council will review and set the meeting schedule on an annual basis.
That sounds fine, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing, right?
All right. We look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wiley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember West. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right, any other updates?
One thing I did want to update you on, I know Mayor Rolfe reached out about this a couple times now. The 2026 final levy information for all the
Oh,
cities
yes.
is available now. And Abdo did send it to me this morning. This is the tax rate comparison that we are all familiar with.
And it's backwards.
It is
So
backwards,
Don't think we're way at the top now.
So I know you
I was
were
looking at that like, wait a minute, I don't see us down here.
It's sorted the other way. I didn't have time to resort it today, but we are still fourth from the bottom, even though we're on the top here. So if you look, Oak Grove is at 25.97%. East Bethel is the next one at 31.03. So even after the city built the new city hall and fire station, and that that bond was in effect on the 2025 budget, we didn't budge. Still the fourth lowest tax rate in the county.
I think we're in the sweet spot,
I think that's
honestly.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
With a new building and all too.
It's shocking you had a $14 million building and it didn't move us to 5 or 6.
Right,
So
exactly.
there's a big gap there.
Lauren, are you gonna send this to us so we
I
have
will
it?
send this graphic to you. I'm gonna fix it so that we're at the bottom, but then I will send it to you.
Because I love to show this to people.
Yep.
I'd love to see this in the newsletter so people can see.
It won't go in the spring one, but I could put it in the summer one.
I think I'd like to see it out there, let people know.
Yeah,
And even a little headline.
with a
saying,
note with the
After-
building. Yeah, yeah. We definitely
I
should do
could make
that.
that graphic. I could add to this.
You can edit it.
No, you can edit it, and then I'll add something about the fire hall into it.
Okay, sure.
Unless you want to.
I can do that. So wanted to share that
Be a
news
big
with you.
deal.
It's still
Look
a
at St.
huge,
Francis.
yeah, but it's still a huge gap between us and
Right?
East Bethel.
Yeah.
Well, St. Francis went up 27% or something.
Yeah.
I wonder where the school board is on this thing.
And I
You
think
don't want to know.
the one behind the one behind us seems to be catching up to us.
board.
Yeah. I think we're doing pretty good. Building a city hall and fire department, and our roads are good, and we have good staff, and we have good equipment, and we have all that, and we're still fourth from the bottom.
And we're not assessing for the roads.
Yes.
Right.
St.
Which is
Francis,
huge.
I believe, does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. People don't realize that. That can
You
make
don't get a $10,000 bill.
exactly.
You guys made some really good moves in relation to the road improvement fund over the last couple of years. The city's in good shape.
Okay. I mean, there can be some noise online of people who have no idea what they're talking about, but if you look at all the actual facts, we're doing, I think, really good. So,
Exceptionally well.
but
I don't care about the noise online. Make it all you want. I don't see it.
Right. Stay off it. It doesn't bother you, right?
Yeah. The noise I care about, call me. Send me an email.
Yeah.
anything else, Lauren?
You touched on it earlier, but I'll just announce it again. There will be a open house for the 2050 comprehensive plan on Thursday, March 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. here at City Hall. That's an opportunity for the public to engage in the process in person. There will, throughout the process, be opportunities to engage on online survey and other means as well. There's a notice in the spring newsletter for that. We'll also send out a notice for you guys to share online as well. The Planning Commission did move their regular meeting to that date as well. So the regular meeting of the Planning Commission will be on Thursday, March 26th, starting at 7 p.m. Technically a special meeting of the Planning Commission. We will get that published and noticed as well. We do have 2 subdivision applications on that meeting. One is the Ponds land, which the city is selling. They will be in their plat for that. And then at the southern entrance of the city at 181st and Flamingo, there is a 4 or 5 lot subdivision along the county road there. You might remember, we looked at that property a couple years ago. The wetland bank is on that part of that property. That will still be there. This is just the part that's not being utilized into the wetland bank program.
Okay.
It seems like maybe a little bit of interest is picked up in our lot for sale on Viking Boulevard. I think we may have an offer or 2 within the next week here.
That would be great.
Those are the highlights for me for tonight.
When is a newsletter coming out? Do we have an estimated date, just to make sure there's also time between now and the 26th?
It should be out before the 26th, but I would say I don't have in mailbox yet, but I would guess it would come out towards the end of next week.
And I think you already said this, Lauren, but those of us that are online, you were going to send something that we could share just to
Yes.
get the word out sooner.
I will do that within the next day or two.
Okay.
So you have that before the newsletter. Yes.
I can email stuff.
I guess building committee meeting is meeting next Thursday. Few items we're working on there. You may have noticed the steel was delivered last week. So started on that. The most noticeable part is above the entryway where the canopy will go. That's a visible sign of it.
Yeah.
All the steel is on site now. In about a month from now, they should be putting the roof on.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Before I get to us, I'm wondering, I know I'm kind of calling her out, but could I get our school board member to come up and give us a little update? We always like to know what's going on with the school. I hear there's a lot of noise online about wages and all kinds of things, but I know I'm putting school board member Annette West on the spot here, but you got anything you could share?
Annette West, St. Francis School Board. We are in negotiation. Well, we're actually in mediation at this point. So if you've been watching on our webpage, we've kept everybody up to speed on where negotiations are, what the union or the group is proposing and what we've proposed. And we've been really transparent that way. When it goes dark, it means we're kind of in mediation. So I think we are in mediation currently on three unions working against or with them to come up to terms with that. And the lieutenant, was it lieutenant? Sergeant that spoke did mention we do have a training going on at the middle school that everybody should be aware of. And that's going to be happening here within the next day or two. It was scheduled over spring break. So if there's a lot of police activity going on up there, that's what it is. It's pre-planned. It's them doing a active shooter
And you should
training.
proactively get out there and let people know.
Yeah. You don't want to drive by the
Flag cars
school.
up there.
Any questions for me? I didn't have anything.
Oh, no, I just called you up. I
written
didn't
or-
expect you to have anything prepared,
I
but
thought
I
you'd call
do.
me up about park board stuff maybe, but
Oh,
not about
we could
school.
go to that. I do appreciate your efforts, though, with everything you've been doing on the school board. I follow it, and I know it's a tough job, but I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate your being the chair of the park commission here for us too. You got anything with that you want to share?
Yeah, we have an upcoming photo contest. Is that going to be out in the newsletter, you
That will
think?
be in the newsletter, yes.
It will?
It will direct people to the website with all the details.
Perfect.
It does announce it.
Yeah, we're really excited about that because it's going to generate some 4 seasons of photos that we can hang up, whatever space we're allowed, and then we can scroll them on the monitor and use them in newsletters and things like that. So we're really excited to just get people out in the parks taking pictures and memorializing some of their photography.
And there's rules associated with that that'll be published, right?
There are rules
Okay.
that will be published, so stay tuned because there are rules. But
It's exciting. It's a great idea. Thank you.
yeah, we've talked about it for many years, so it's nice to get that off the ground. And then we're still working on developing the Veterans Memorial. We haven't had the individual come out that's presenting everything because we need to get a lay of the land with the new building. So that'll be coming up too. Once we get a lay of the land and see what that space looks like, we'll have them come out and give us some ideas and numbers. And yeah, that's all I have.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I say, you're doing a lot of stuff here, school board, you're the chair of our park commission, and so I just appreciate everything you're doing for the community
Thank you.
and for coming up even though you didn't want to.
I enjoy doing it. Yeah.
Tree lighting
Thank you.
expert.
Oh, and the tree lighting for expert. All right, mayor and council requests.
I guess I do have two
Yes,
quick
sir.
things I can update you on the next meeting. Tonight, our prosecuting attorney, Scott Baumgartner, was supposed to be here, but he had a conflict. So he will be at the March 30th meeting to give his annual report. And then also Rum River Consultants is scheduled to be here at the next meeting too, related to the fee schedule amendments that we've talked about a few times now. I did send those out a couple weeks ago, so if you have questions of me before that, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, they will be here to address those at the next meeting on March 30th.
All right. Angie?
Yes, so we have a community member, Tony Staffkey. He's a mural artist, and he put out on our community page that he wanted to know how to contact someone here at the city because he would like to paint a mural at the new fire hall. And I suggested that he come tonight just to open the dialogue, and he wasn't able to, so I said I would just introduce it to you guys to let you guys know that he does beautiful artwork, and he just would like to do something local voluntarily. So there's that I wanted to let you guys know about. The school board, yeah, I've started watching their meetings, and thank you for pointing me to that. It's something new that I'm learning more about. I used to be involved many years ago when my daughter was in school, and you just change where your interests are, or where you spend your time, and so I've been intentionally watching the meetings, and there's some beautiful things that are going on with our students, so it's been fun to watch, but I could not have given a report the way Annette did, so thank you for that, Annette. And then I had, since St. Francis passed their resolution to keep the Minnesota flag that we choose to fly here in our city, I had some people reach out to me asking me, well, why don't you guys do that? And I guess I just wanted to say, we've discussed it. I wanted it on the record for whoever's watching to know that we did discuss it back on June 24th of 24, and we came to a consensus that we're going to continue flying this flag. And we also did discuss a resolution. However, the consensus was any council can come in at any time and change the resolution. So we're just going to leave it as it is, unless someone was interested now in making a resolution. But I just want it on the record, this is the flag that we all agreed that we want to continue to fly, and that's why we don't have a resolution.
Yeah, I got a couple messages too, Angie, of people excited about St. Francis, and I think it was Champlin, and I don't think it passed in Now Then. I want to know what we were going to do.
Now they went the other direction.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, we discussed this a year and a half ago. We never changed it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing to change it back to.
Right, exactly.
But
Well, and I've talked to some legislators that have indicated that there may be a change back. So why would we spend money that we might have to unspend? So I would say,
I hope they go back and
me too.
reinvent the wheel again and spend
Right.
another $500,000 to do it.
No, it's going back. I mean, that's the goal. So that's what I was told. So I would say just stand by.
Yeah.
And I'm not against a resolution, but I also think that a new incoming council could change it anyways. And so
Sure.
I think we're good with what we have. But
And ultimately, we are a representative republic, and if there's enough of our city that believes that's what it should be, then that's probably what it should be. So I don't think there's that right now.
anything else?
No. No,
No worry. Yes.
I was reading also online, there's a lot of comments about the new development, the new proposal on 7th Avenue for the commercial property and the building in the city and the developments and all of that. And I guess I'm just going to say again, which we've said before, if somebody doesn't, we are going to move forward with approving developments because we have ordinances and they follow them. And if somebody doesn't want a development to form, they can buy the property to stop it. But it's not something that us as a city can stop a developer from developing as long as they abide by our ordinances. So I just wanted to remind the community that that's the world we live in.
Well, every person that lives in the city is here on developed land,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
should they have stopped it for you? So
Right.
same thing, right? Silly.
So that's all I have. Thank you.
I've got nothing.
You know, only thing really to add, is I know there was some talk at the last meeting about, you know, the amount of vehicles one can have on a property. And I know staff was gonna bring that back and we were gonna decide, you know, is 4 the right number, or 3 or 5 or 8 or whatever that number happens to be. You know, I think we've done a good job of trying to do the right thing. We may not always agree with one another, but I think we're looking at what we think is right. And I know there's some people out there that, you know, when it comes to, oh, I can only have 4 cars and they're trying to control me and all this stuff. But the point of the whole thing is I would say, whether I'm the one sitting here or next year when I'm not, is at least give the council the benefit, because we may not even realize what some of the ordinances are. And that's why we're going through them, like John had encouraged us like a year ago, to educate ourselves. And so I don't think any of us were even up here when that ordinance was implemented. So it's like, it's not that we're the ones trying to limit everything.
Right.
The consensus was last meeting is that we all wanted to at least look at it and see. I just don't want to, you know, shoot from the hip and say, oh, let's do 5, because I don't know if that's the right amount or not. But I think we'll get it right. So I would just, again, ask people to, you know, contact us. Let us know what your thoughts are, versus going on lying about all your opinions. Because we're going to try to do it the right way, and you can come to meetings and you can share that with us. But just because it's something that maybe is against an ordinance today doesn't mean that we said it. We might agree with it, or we may not, but that time will come. So
It's an educational process. It was for us as council and for the public to learn more about the ordinances in the city. So,
and I've actually shared that with somebody who was griping about the city they live in, and I said, that council may not even know. Maybe you should at least give them the benefit of the doubt by contacting them versus just all your rhetoric online. So but that's all I have. The next regular scheduled meeting will be Monday, March 30th, 2026 at 6 p.m. That's a ways from now. I believe Councilmember Bray Johnson will attend the school board meeting before that and have an update for us. So with that, I would look for a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilmember Wiley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Bray Johnson.
I mean, you're not gonna do it, John, come on.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
aye.
Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming, and